This is the Old Guy Network.
Welcome back to the Old Guy Network. I'm the Old Guy, the OG, Jay, and you know who you are. Well, a happy Thursday to you. It's Thursday morning, and I've got a video for you that I've been wanting to make for quite a while, and I just now got around to it. So here we go. Have you ever wondered how older people can not work and not get much of a pension, but still be able to live a fairly comfortable life? That's because a lot of old people, we're kind of frugal. We don't have a whole lot of money to spread around, so we have to make do with what we have. And there's only two things that you need to do in order to save money. One thing is, have a little patience. That's right, just have a little patience. You don't always have to have everything right now. You can wait a little while. Don't whip out the credit card. Just save the money first, then buy what you need. Just a little patience. And sometimes you need a little effort. Yeah, it's easier to go and buy something that's already prepared for you that you could do at home. But when you do it at home, it costs you a lot less. And the very first thing I want to talk about is coffee. Yeah, that's right. Now, if you look at this, you know what this is? This is a coffee maker. Let's make it down here. Oh, look at that. That's a coffee maker. And a lot of us have those in our home, don't we? Yes. Most people have a coffee maker, and they don't use it that much. I just bought coffee. I got the generic brand of coffee, but I just bought a container of coffee that will make 20, 25, maybe 30 pots of coffee. It cost me about $6. Last time I went to one of these coffee places to buy a cup of coffee, it cost me about $5, I think, for a large coffee. So for almost the same price, you can make 100, 150 or more cups of coffee for the same price, and just make it at home. And this thing that's beside it, that's a thermos. If you're going to work, or if you're going to the park, or if you're going anywhere, just make your own coffee, pour it into the thermos, and you are going to save a ton of money. I know people that stop at coffee places each and every day, once or twice a day. They're spending anywhere from $5 to $10 a day. That adds up really, really quick. In a week, that's $70, $35 to $70. That's a lot of money. So just make the coffee at home, and you can pocket all that cash. That's a really good idea. Now, right near my coffee maker, I have this thing here. It's called a stove and an oven, all right? Maybe a little dirty, but you understand what this thing is? Yeah, you make food with it, okay? I'm being sarcastic now because I'm just trying to drive this point home. I also, the same people, I know these people, the same ones that go out and buy coffee 2 or 3 times a day, they also go out to eat almost every night, or they get takeout almost every night. They go out to lunch every single work day. And I know a lot of people who do this. When you look at the fact that you could buy enough groceries to feed yourself for a week with just the price of going out to dinner twice, maybe 3 times, I mean, it's not hard to come to the conclusion that you're throwing a bunch of money away. A bunch of money, not just a little bit. Brew your own coffee, make your own food, pack a lunch if you're going to work, or if you're going to the park, like I said before, or just going out someplace. Make your own food. It just takes a little bit of effort, a little bit of patience. Pretty easy, right? And, well, let's see. Cutting ties with cable. This is something that I did a very long time ago. I came to the realization that there weren't a lot of places that, there weren't a lot of TV shows that I watched that were only on cable. There are some. I mean, HBO, you have to have cable to watch their shows, and they're very, very popular. But you know, I could live without them. So what I did was I bought an aerial for my house. I can get all of the local channels, and there's about 9 of them in my area. Plus, I also have the internet, which you're using right now, and I have Hulu. I used to have Netflix. Now I just have Hulu because that's good enough. And there's a lot of free services out there too. There's plenty of things to watch on TV. And when you consider you already have the internet, right? right? So if you get Hulu, it's like $5 a month, something like that, maybe $7 a month. Well, compare that to cable. Cable is over $100 a month in most places. So that's a lot of money to save. And another idea is to sell everything. Well, not everything, but sell things that, first of all, you don't use, or sell things that don't bring you any joy. If you look at something in your house and you think, I haven't used that thing in a couple of years, I don't really need it. Or if you have something lying around that doesn't make you smile and you're just indifferent to it, put it online. Have a yard sale. Get rid of it. You'll clear out some space. You'll put a few bucks in your pocket. Hey, that'll buy a lot of coffee, right? Yeah, it's not a bad idea. And a lot of us, we like to collect stuff. And in my case, I'm not just collecting my stuff. I've been collecting stuff that my parents had. Because nobody else in the family wanted this stuff, so now I'm like the curator of my family's non-existent museum. And I've come to the conclusion that, I shouldn't have that burden. I love my parents dearly. They were wonderful, wonderful people. But when I'm gone, what happens? People are just going to throw this stuff away. So I'm trying desperately to give it away to my relatives first. But if they don't want it, hey, on eBay it goes. That's the way it is. And then the final thing that I have to remind you about is borrow. Don't buy. A good example for this is my next door neighbor. He got some lobsters and he was going to cook up the lobsters, but he didn't have a lobster pot. He didn't have a big enough vessel to cook the lobsters. So he was going to buy one. I said, well, I've got one. I've got a couple of them, I think. So why don't you just borrow it? And later on, when I needed a tool that I didn't have that he had, I just borrowed it. Why go to the store and buy it if I'm only going to use it once or twice or don't know when I'm going to use it again? It makes sense, but it's got to be a two-way street. If you're willing to go to one of your neighbors or your friends or family or whatever and say, hey, can I borrow this? You have to be willing to say, hey, if you need this, you need something I have, you can borrow it. It's that simple. So there's 5 things right there. And those 5 things, they will save you a ton of money. You don't have to do all of them. You don't have to do any of them. You can do whatever you want. That's the great thing about this country, right? But pick and choose. Skip the coffee shops, pack a lunch, cut ties with cable, sell everything you don't need, don't want, or doesn't bring you any joy, and borrow stuff that you can. If you need a blender, borrow it. How many times do you really use a blender? That's it. That's a quick video for today. It's just common sense stuff that old people figured out a long time ago when we had to due to necessity, So you can live a really happy, fulfilled life and not spend a ton of money. And look how much money you'd have at the end of the day. I'm not going to do the math for you. You can do the math. So that's going to do it for the Old Guy Network. For the Old Guy Network, I am the old guy, the OG, and I'm out. Why do I need pants? Nobody can see me from the waist down. Yeah. Oh, hi, didn't see you over there. Well, thanks for checking out my video. If you like the video, please, like and share and subscribe. And if you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee, I sure could use one. Just go to my coffee page, and it's in the description. I left a link in there. And I really am wearing pants. Really.